Oh, I got something planned today for tomorrow. Hopefully it works tomorrow, but you know what? You got to stick around to find out what it is. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world, you know it is JJ and JJ's PC Builds. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. What I mean by 4,000 watch hours, watch the video from beginning to end, would be much appreciated, will help the channel grow and get us monetized. And that's what we're trying to work for. And, watch the videos from beginning to end, And I can see we got some new subscribers, couple new subscribers. Welcome to the family. Welcome to JJ's PC Builds. And my veteran subscribers, I do appreciate all the love and support you've done showing us on the channel. Thank you so much for watching all the videos from beginning to end. It's helping the channel get to its next step in evolution. But thinking of evolution, I told y'all I had something planned. Hopefully by thinking about it by tomorrow. I'm thinking by tomorrow I might be on a little trip. Hopefully if things get planned out straight, don't quote me on it just yet, but I'll let you know. If I don't have a video, I apologize for not having a video yesterday. I had a lot of plans and a lot of things going. So today I'm making a video and it's Thursday. It is Thursday. Yes, it is Thursday. Oh my God, it's Thursday already. But I do apologize again for not having a video for yesterday. I had a lot of things going on. But beyond that, we're going to do the video today. And if everything goes out well for tomorrow morning, I'll be on my way to go to Micro Center. And that's bringing up the video for today. We're going to do a video on Micro Center. With their large amount of stores. I think they got like 28 stores. They got more stores coming out in Indianapolis, Indiana, and stuff like that. So make sure y'all stick around and find out when the grand opening is going to happen for those stores. You can always find out by going to microcenter.com, and I'm sure you can find all the information there. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a little trip right here. We're going to go to the action screen, and then we're going to go to the site for Micro Center and see what spit feed deals they got going on. I can tell you, what's going to be happening for tomorrow is that, they're going to have the Ryzen 5 5600X 3D coming out tomorrow. They're going to have a limited amount on it, so if you're thinking about getting one and you got your AM4 motherboard all cranked up ready for it, I'm sure they'll have one there for you, but make sure you get down there because they're only going to have a limited amount per store, and they're estimating they'll have between 3 and 6 months of the supply, and then after that it is gone. So it's in-store only if you're going to think about going to buy one, just to let you know. And I think I'm going to take a ride down there tomorrow, hopefully if everything plans out to be well, and get my hands on one. Yes, I have to go and buy my own. So, simple as that. I don't expect them to say, hey, here you go. I don't expect that. Because we're still within the 1-year-old mark here on the channel. We are at 10 months. Yay! There's my sound effects. That's the best I can do for you right now. Yay! There's my sound effects. I don't have the, I'm still learning the ins and outs of doing all them little, B-rolls and stuff like that. So I do apologize if you haven't seen me do, a large amount of B-rolls and stuff like that. I'm still learning that part. Okay, as soon as I master that part, then I'll start making the videos go up a little bit better and look a lot better for you all. So I'm just doing raw videos right now until I can learn the rest of doing all that, because, like I told you in the beginning when I first started the channel, that I'm learning as I'm going. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm taking baby steps to learn how to do things. So this way, by the time I reach at least over to the 1 year to the 2 year mark, at least I'll know how to do all these things. So let's say if I hire somebody to do, all the video editing and stuff, and guess what? They're homesick or they can't show up because of, personal reasons. At least I'll end up knowing how to do it, so y'all won't miss out on the videos. So do bear with me, and we're going to do the best we can for right now. So I know sooner or later I'll start putting in the B-roll action and stuff like that, and get more creative on the channel. So do bear with me. I'm doing my best. I'm an old man. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell the reviewers. Don't tell anybody. But anyway, let's go ahead and go to the action screen. And you know what? And before we do, and I do apologize to the European crowd. Now, it's the country folk in me when I say y'all. I don't mean to say y'all all the time, so I'll try to limit that. I'm not trying to offend anybody. Just letting you know, that's the reason why I got this video going too. Just to let you know, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm trying to make y'all happy to come here to get the information, to hear what you need to hear. So that way, you can see what I have going on. See, I was about to say y'all, but I said you. So I want you to understand that I'm not doing it intentionally. It's just a force of habit. And usually when you're set in your ways and you're at a force of habit, and everybody's got their own set ways of doing things. And I'm sure in your world, you got set things you do in your certain way. I do things in my certain way. And I try to be as natural as I can on my YouTube channel for you. Try to be as natural as I can, we're talking face to face, like it's a normal reality, if you're over here in the US, normal reality kind of talking. So, I just try to be normal. I don't want to be like everybody else that's on YouTube, being proper on what they say and everything else, because that makes me fall into the category of what their channel looks like. I want to do something to where my channel stands out from the rest of them. And that's for me, to be normal, to be myself, to be calm, to do my thing. So, I just wanted to let you know, because I know that was brought up, that, and I do appreciate you bringing that up, and, and I do apologize if it does offend you, because I'm not here to offend anybody. So, and also too, before we get into it, there was a comment brought up, and they said, "Hey JJ, is it possible that the 4060 Ti will be launched on the 18th of July with 16 gigabytes of memory? What do you think of that?" Well, I left you a long note in the response to that video, and that was quite of a long one that I left you. And, to bring it down into a nutshell, what I think is the 4060 Ti doesn't make sense for its price. I mean, if you're going to go to $499, okay, go to the length to buying that 16 gigabytes, and you think that 16 gigabytes is really worth it, then, it really, to me, it just doesn't make sense. It's because you're only buying the VRAM at that point. If you bought the 4060 8 gigabyte version, it's going to be the same as the 16 gigabyte version, but the 16 gigabyte version's only got 8 more gigabytes of VRAM. That's it. There's nothing improved on it, and that's what I wrote on as a comment, response to the comment on, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, I don't see NVIDIA improving anything other than the VRAM. Okay, they're saying they're going to be identical. Even on NVIDIA's website, they said, in quote, let me go back to, and I'm going to read you the quotes. And I said it, I posted it. Let's see. In July, the GeForce RTX 4060 Ti 16 gigabytes arrives in stores starting at $499, featuring additional graphic memory, but otherwise identical specifications. So that right there telling me identical specifications means that it's no different from the 8 gigabyte version. And that 8 gigabyte version's already been tested by many reviewers. And they've already said it would, it's to them, for them to use it, they would never. Okay? In a nutshell, basically, because you can't see it as like an intermediate card. A starter card, you can't really base it as an intermediate card like the 4070. Okay, now I got the 4070. Now that's an intermediate card compared to the 4070 Ti, which the 4070 and the 4070 Ti carries the same die straight, which means the same dies. But in the 4070, it's cut down a little bit, but it's the same numbers. Okay, so, and yeah, it's cut down a little bit, but it's still the same number. So that means it still has the same advantage as the 4070 Ti. If I decided to spend a couple $100 and get 4 more gigabytes of VRAM put on it and make it 16 gigabytes, okay, that's $200 more I can add on to that card to make it 16 gigabytes. I had a friend already tell me this. So, and he works on the stuff, so I said, okay, well, when it comes down time, I might be upgrading it to the 16 gigabytes. I'm not supposed to say that, but, it is possible, okay? Working on electronics, anything is possible. So, do understand that. But with the 4060 Ti, they're doing the same thing. The same thing I just said. With the 4070, instead of having 12 gigabytes, you move it up to 16 gigabytes. That's the same damn thing NVIDIA did with the 4060 Ti 8 gigabyte, moving it up to 16 gigabytes. Same damn thing. The same bus rate, the same everything else. Everything from A to Z on that card from 1 to the second is the same. Just to get that out in a nutshell, I figure I'm going to clear the air on that really quick so you all know that right now. And make sure you all get your drink and your snacks with you too, because the video doesn't end here. This is just beginning the video. So, let's go ahead and leave that note here, and then later on down the road, I'll make another video on it and give you another conclusion. If things change, I'll let you know. So let's just go ahead and move on down the road and get everything all set up nice and kosher. So we go ahead and we're going to move over to the action screen. There we go. Let me get it all tidied back up again. Oh my goodness. Seems that, I have everything all out of whack today. That's because of the video I did a couple days ago. I forgot I did it a couple days ago. Well, I did do it a couple days ago, but let me go ahead and try to get this squared up for you all. And if it's not, then we'll get it squared up again. I do apologize. Like I said, I'm still learning to do this. I'm still learning OBS Studios. And it's crazy. Trust me, it's crazy. So, okay. Now, let's go and type in Micro Center. And Micro Center, I'm not doing this to be a smart butt, just to let you know. I just had to clear the air in a couple things, so that way, people know about some things. Okay, so here we go. Let's see, top deals. We got PC parts. Where to start, who knows? What do we got going on? Let's see, top deals of July. Let's see. Top deals of July. Let's go to processors, and we'll move our way around in Micro Center a little bit, just to give you an idea before, if you decide to go to Micro Center, then, you can get an idea of what's going on. So, they got the 3600 for $79. That's not a bad deal. $79 for a 3600, 3.6 gigahertz. That's probably baselined, but we'll look into that. I don't think y'all want to use Threadripper. If you do, then good luck to you. Let's go to the 48 that they found. They got the i7 12700K, 12th gen, for $251. They got the 7700X for $310. They got 13700K for $379. Let's see, 7900X for $395. They got a 5600X for $148. Not bad, not bad, not bad. 279. They got the 5800X 3D. They got the 5800X for $189. I wish I would have saved, I wish I would have waited before I bought the Ryzen 7 5700X for the same price. I paid the same price when I bought this. I think I paid the same price. No, actually I didn't. I got it on a deal and plus a sale. I got 2 in 1 when I bought it off of Amazon. I got the rebate off of Amazon, and I got the cash back that you get when you buy it. When you buy a certain amount, you get cash back. So I got a pretty good deal on it. If I remember, I think I got it down to like maybe $139, maybe about $139, $140, somewhere in there. But I got a really good deal on it. So it's brand new in the box. Who's going to complain, right? So pay $140 and you can't beat it. Well, the 5600G, I paid $154 for it, and now it's down to $114, and that's got a graphics card built in on the processor. So look, if you're not thinking about getting a graphics card and you just want to stay in the iGPU realm, they got right here the 5600G for $114. Believe it or not, that's not a bad deal if you're building a budget computer. I know everybody says, well, get the 3400G, it's a lot less in cost. Yeah, it's a lot less in cost, but, you're paying for the performance too. You get better performance with the Ryzen 5 5600G than you would, the 4600G. So, just in my opinion, I've already been told this, so, I've seen it. I've seen the benchmarks on it, and, I can tell you the 5600G and the Ryzen 7 5700G, they're still, to me, those are still good integrated graphic processors. I really wish they would have pushed them up to 12 CUs instead of the Ryzen 5 5600G being at 7, and then the Ryzen 7 5700G being at 8 CUs. So that would have been 12 CUs would have been really good for those. But I'm sure someday, AMD will concentrate themselves and build a monster of integrated graphics. That's what I want to see, if they can do it, but who knows what they're going to do, But like I said, there's some great deals going on, Micro Center right now, and I'm going to give it a good try tomorrow. Hopefully I can go down there, be down there in the morning, spend about half the day, and then come back home. So, we'll see what's going on. Because I'd like to take my time when it comes to going through a computer store. When I was down in Florida a long time ago, I used to go through what a store, they used to be the same thing that Micro Center is now. They used to have a store that's called Comp USA down in Florida. That damn store, it'd take me about almost 8 hours to go through that store, just to go from one side of the store to the next. I had to go through a lot going through that store. That was unbelievable. It had everything you could ever think of. I mean, everything you can ever think of. So, 18 minutes in-store pickups. Not too bad. So, let's go ahead and just look at the graphics cards. See what they got. We just want to look overall. Let's see. All GPUs. Let's go there. Let's just see what they got for all GPUs. One available to ship. Let's see what it is. It's the 4070 Ti XLR8. Not in my wheelhouse. Okay, so they got the 4090 down to $1,700. It's only $100 more than MSRP. That's not too bad. They got the TUF. That's Asus. $200 more than MSRP. They got the Strix, which is $300 more than MSRP. 7900 XT, we don't know because it doesn't have a price on it. So 6950 XT, $649.99, $650. Okay, now, yes, the 6950 XT is a little bit faster than the RTX 4070 for $50 more. You're not looking at that much faster. So, and plus it's on the ending platform of the 6000 series. So, thinking about that, and that's the reason why I bought the 4070, because it's at the almost the beginning of the platform. Almost into the middle of the platform, but it's still within the same year. So that might last me about I'd imagine the RTX 4070 is going to last me about 5 plus years, 5-6 years. If I get 5 to 6 years off of that graphics card alone, then you know what? Then I got my money's worth between 5 and 6 years, because truthfully, it's only cost me about 3 cents a day. If I were to put up 3 pennies a day for that card, that's all it really costs. Do your math. So, everybody says to me, well, how do you get 3 cents a day when it looks like it costs more on the thing? Yeah, of course it does. You're going by FPS. You're not going by the cost of the card itself. You're not looking at the real picture. You're looking at the FPS picture. Okay, you're trying to compare it to other GPUs and the price and everything else. Why don't you just compare the price to what it is today, what it is now? So you go $599, right? Say you got a $600 card, right? We'll go ahead and we'll just call it a $600 card. Okay, so you figure like this. You got 365 days in a year, right? So you take, let's see, let's do it right. 600, right? And divide that by, let's say you're going to have the card for 5 years, divided by 5. Okay, so that breaks it down to $120 a year. If you were to buy a graphics card at $120 every year for the next 5 years, it would be equaled up to the RTX 4070, which would probably give you better performance than all 5 cards combined. So, you know, it's how you really think about it that matters. So, as I was thinking about it, why not take and divide it by 365 days? And I thought to myself, okay, so that broke it down to 0.3 cents a day. 0.3 cents a day. And if I use it every day, it's only costing me 3 cents on that end. And then, you know, figuring the amount of electricity is how you got, how much, you know, how much is pulling from that GPU alone. So, what do you figure? 8 cents a day? That's it. So, if the card's only costing me, you know, if I bought the card at $5.99, used it for 5 years, it's only costing me 3 cents a day. Simple put. So it's costing me $120 a year for the next 5 years. So I pay one lump sum for $600, get it for the next 5 years. But it might go further than 5 years. It might last me 6 or 7 or 8 years. So that's how you gotta kind of look at it. You know, if you want to look at the FPS, it doesn't matter what game you're playing. You know, if you're playing online games, your internet could suck and give you crappy FPS. Okay? Now, you got to look at the points. You think the graphics card's giving you crappy FPS. Could it be your internet? I had that happen. My internet was, you know, crapping out on me. And I was wondering why the FPS kept dropping, and the game crashing and everything else. I thought it was the GPU. Turn around, it was my internet. So I had to turn around and replace the internet box. That brought everything back up to light. If you're doing online games, okay, do expect that you got more in play than just your graphics card. You got your processor in play, you got your motherboard in play, you got your RAM in play, you got your internet in play, you got your monitor in play, you know, and even down to the touch of your keyboards in play. You got all these things in play into one big whole. So if one piece goes down, they all go down. Not all of them, but close to it. Your internet it slows down, guess what happens? So does the amount of FPS and everything you're getting from your game. It slows it down a little bit. Not a lot of people realize, you know, they sit there saying, oh, the game sucks, oh, this graphics card sucks, this. I've heard so many things and so many times in so many ways, you know. Look, doesn't matter what you're going to buy, as long as you got good internet and you got a decent graphics card, doesn't matter what it is, as long as it gives you the great gameplay you want. Let's say you're a 1080p player. You don't care about 1440p or 4K. Okay, so, you know, a 4060, RTX 4060 is fine. You know, but I wouldn't pay $300 for it. Maybe I'd pay like maybe $240 for it, but not $300 or $300. You know, to give you price to performance, that card would have to be $239.99 for the RTX 4060. But I would go even further because everybody claims that it could be the CPU, the GPU die that's in there. They claim that's a, you know, it's equal to the 4050. Well, don't they have a 4050 on a laptop? Go investigate that and go see what performance you get from that laptop. I know it's not going to compare to desktop, but it's going to give you an average to see what it's doing on a laptop. And if it sucks on a laptop, you know it's going to suck on a desktop. So there you go. You know, I know laptops don't carry the same power as desktops, but on an average, it'll give you an idea. Especially when they're building the 4050s, the the graphics on a laptop. So go see if you find one and see if it sucks or it's good or whatever, and then let us know. Leave a comment on this video. If you find a 4050 in a laptop and what its performance is, because I'm sure that it's not going to be any better than what it's going to be on the desktop. Because when it comes to lower end graphics, your starter cards that they always say, they always use laptop graphics for desktop. And that's been said for the longest time. Where they take that die from the for the graphics for the laptop, they just slam it onto a desktop, GPU, and then they try to sell you that. Now, years ago, I will say this, when they started coming out with the laptops and everything else, they think a couple companies started doing that and making it for the desktop, and they were terrible. They were really horrible. I mean, there were some horrible graphics coming out of a couple of them. I can't remember the name. It's so long ago, I can't remember the name of those companies. But I'm sure they ain't in business anymore. I guarantee you that. They ain't in business anymore. But, looking, and I'm not saying you all, because I don't want to, it's you have to understand this. Now, I'm going to bring it to you. You're the one buying, and as a friend, I'm telling you 101, you are the one that's buying a graphics card. You're the one that is buying a motherboard. You're the one that's buying the RAM and everything else. It's what you can afford. So you have to see in your budget what you can afford by the main pieces first. The main pieces is your motherboard, your processor, and your RAM. Now, next to that will be your SSD drive, M.2 if you got a motherboard that supports M.2 drives, or a regular SSD, internal card, like a regular platter hard drive, an SSD style. If you want to go that route, you can. But after you get those components together, and I'm going to say this, you can do a lot with a 600 watt power supply if you're not gonna be running a heavy duty graphics card. If you're running integrated graphics, between 6 and 750 watt power supply is fine. I say between 6 and 750 is because I've used a 600 and I've used a 750, and I found out that the 750 rolls better with integrated graphics than the 600 does. For some reason, I have no idea why. They're both 80 plus gold. They're both from the same company, which I'm not going to state because then they'll feel offended. But I'm just telling you. Do your own test on that, and you'll see, and some people say, well, there's not really going to be much of a difference. Well, actually, there's just a slight bit of difference. Just a slight, and you just don't really see it. But there is a slight bit of difference. So, but for me, I thought 750 watts with the B450 motherboard with the Ryzen 5 5600G and using the Crucial P2 1 terabyte hard SSD drive, that was good. Rolling with that, and I did for 8 to 9 months. And on top of that, I used a Crucial LPX 3200 megahertz CL16, 16 gigabytes. And that rolled me 9 months, sorry. So we got 9 months action out of that. Then I replaced it. With, it still runs, but I just replaced it with the Asus Strix B550-A motherboard. It's got the white and black, and I think it looks awesome. And I paired that up with the Ryzen 7 5700X, which I thought that was really awesome, because I don't see many people talking about the 5700X. They're like, oh, go the 5600X because of the price, the price, the price, the price, the price. You know what? Forget about the price. If you got a big budget that you saved up for, either you want to go big or you want to go home. Okay? Just think about that. I mean, it's like even being on Micro Center website. This gives you an idea before you go into the store what kind of prices you're going to be dealing with when you go to Micro Center. This is just an idea. This just gives me, you know, I'm just looking through to see what kind of pricing they're going to have, you know, and basically I'm going to be looking on some of the things they do have. Like, let's see. Let's see. Air and water cooling. Okay, let's start there. Okay, so, you know, the one thing that I have not seen yet is like a water cooling kit. Basically, they got all the parts and everything all in one kit. That I haven't seen yet. You know, I probably have, but I can't remember where, but I'm telling you, it would be cool if you got these water cooling companies, you tell them what kind of chassis you got and dimensions and everything else you got, and then they put everything in one big package, and then they send it out to you, and then, you know, you put it all together, and boom, you got yourself a water cooling computer for a decent price. If I wanted to go to an AIO, you can get an AIO, I mean, a cheap one off of Amazon for like $89. That's within the decency of a, you know, like a 240 mil rad or a 280 mil rad, still at the same price. So it's not so much looking at it in the RGB. So, you know, even if it's blacked out, it's still good, because I would get it. It's still blacked out. I mean, if it's RGB, then, you know, I'd get it too, you know, if it's really good. And it's, you know, I mean, but who can complain? The fans that they have on there for the rad, for the fan, you know, for the rad, you know, really wouldn't matter anyway, because I'd still use the same fans I have here, because usually the ones they have for the rads anyway are usually less than RPMs than the one that you get, you know, the one that you already have. So I just take those fans off and use the same fans I have for my computer here, because they got a better RPM. These go up to about maybe 2900 RPMs. So I can adjust it to where it stays at about 85% fan usage. I don't have to go full balls to the wall. I can go 85% and keep this case totally cool, and I'm happy with it. So, you know, I mean, the 5700 now is on an air cooler. I had to tone it down. I had to put PBO curve on there to tone it down a little bit, and I had to tone down the power a little bit, yeah, to keep it under, what, the most I had this go up to was 136 degrees Fahrenheit, which would probably be what, 62, 64, somewhere in between there, Celsius. So I don't push the CPUs to the limit. Now, if I was going to push it to the limit, I would have to have another one that was on hand that I could use for that kind of testing. Okay, but that's the only one I have that's on hand, you know, that's here that I have, that I can do minimal testing with it. But if I had one that was an extra one, then yeah, I could do all that extremity testing that you all see. Okay, but until I get a second one, I can tell you it's running great. It handles the RTX 4070 just fine. So, If that's what y'all are wondering, if it's going to be handling the RTX 4070, it does. I don't have a problem with it. It seems they both are paired with each other. I don't have bottlenecking going from the GPU to the CPU or from the CPU to the GPU. There's no bottlenecking. And I've looked on, I did much calculations and everything else, and it seems like it's like sitting between 98 to 100% of where you would want like a mid-range computer. Mid-range computer, this is where it sits at. Okay, now it's not the best of the best and it's not the worst of the worst. It's right there in the middle. I told you all the 4070 is going to be right in the middle. I mean, right in the middle. They got the IQ H150i Elite LCD XT. Looks like for $289. They got some air coolers. They got $109.89 for fans. If you're looking for decent, good stuff that you want to put in your computer, I'm sure you can find it here at Micro Center. I mean, they got that Thermal Grizzly, the Cryonaut thermal grease for $11.99. It's not too bad. They got a Lee Gallon, the 240 mil for $100. That's not too bad neither. That is not too bad. Believe it or not, that's not too bad for that price. I will give them that. That is not too bad for that price, because I know about the fans and everything else. So, I mean, if you're looking to get an AIO cooler, then yeah, that 240 rad, that would be perfect for the 5700X. I mean, I'm even thinking about it myself, truthfully. I don't need something that's big like a 360 mil or anything else, because I'm not running a processor that's over 100 watts. This processor is supposed to be right at 65 watts. I say 65 to 80 watts max. But like I said, this right here, this Lee Galahad 240 mil RGB water cooling kit, that would be perfect. That AIO right there, that's perfect. They got the Corsair TM30 Performance Thermal Paste for $7.99. That's not bad. That's not bad. I say it because right here, this is what I use. Y'all see it? MX4. That's what I use right here. The Arctic MX4. There. You can see it. So, that's what I use for thermal paste. And that's like $5.99, I think, on Amazon. You can spend like, I think, $11.99 and get a big old tube of it. One of these days I'll be a big kid and get me a big tube. They got a Deepcool LS520 high performance. Wow. 240 for $109. That don't look too bad neither. Wow. Look at that. That's the same one we just seen. I'm going to go one more page. You know what? No, I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring it to 96. I'm going to make it a bigger page. So this way we can go down 96 times. Let's see where we left off. Well, that's not too bad. 104. But that's a white one. Oh, that would look cool on mine. Put a white one in there, because you got a white and black motherboard. Huh, that would look cool on mine. I have to think about doing the white. I don't know, y'all tell me in the comments below if you think I should go white or go black. Let me know, because I want to know if I want to go white or black. I really want to know. IQ fans, Lian Li fluid fans. They had some nice air coolers, $40. The Hyper, Master Hyper, that's not too bad. $89. The MSI Meg Core Liquid P240 all-in-one water cooling kit for $89. That's not too bad. That's all blacked out. That looks all blacked out to me. You know, that looks pretty good for $89. You know, if I want to change the fans, like I said, I have 120 mil fans, you know, so that would be perfect. You know, Strix LC 360. No, I don't want a 360. I just want to keep it in the 240 range. Oh, they got RGB with it. It's $109. So for $50 more, you get RGB. I don't think I really want to. You know, if you really think about it, and you go the $89 one compared to the one that's got RGB on it, you're best off to just go with the $89 one. You know, they're going to be the same, but you know the performance is not going to be different. You know, so you're best off to just go with what you know. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, we got a little bit of a glimpse into Micro Center. What they got going on at Micro Center gave me a little glimpse to what to look forward to. So I know when I go in there, and I'm going to be looking hard to see what they got. You know, so I think it's going to be a good thing. It's a 3-hour drive. It'll be well worth it. You know, I'll take a friend along. You know, we'll go for a drive. You know, we'll go that way. So, 3-hour drive will be a good thing. I'll take a ride up there, see what's going on. And if I can't get up there, I will let you all know in the next video. But if you don't see a video tomorrow, then that means I have went to Micro Center tomorrow, and y'all won't see it till Friday. So, but if you see one on Thursday, you know I didn't get a chance to get to Micro Center, and I didn't get that ride up there. So, but if you see it on Friday, you know I went to Micro Center, and I'm going to show you what in my finding, I'm going to show you what I found, you know, and everything else. And, you know, I'm going to go through the whole 900 yards like everybody else does to see what's going on. They'll be, you know, looking at an old man up there, you know, saying, "What's up?" No, just kidding. But anyway, I'm not going to make this a long video. I just wanted to give y'all an idea and give you some news and updates on a couple things and, you know, let you know what's going on. So we took a look at Micro Center. Y'all have a look at it. Go to microcenter.com. You know, you'll be able to find out the locations and where they're located at and everything else. You can always Google map them and, you know, find their locations, so it's not hard to find them. But that's what I had to do to find out how long the trip was going to take. So now I know it's 3 hours and 10 minutes. But, you know, with bathroom breaks and everything else, I might as well say 3 hours, just say 4 hours, period. You know, in case I got to make enough bathroom breaks, because you know how us old guys are. We always got to stop and use the bathroom about 500 times before we make it there. So, you know. But anyway, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And thank you for the new subscribers that did subscribe. Welcome to the family. Welcome to JJ's PC Builds. And my veteran subscribers, it's definitely much of a pleasure. And thank you so much. Much love to you for watching all the videos and helping support the channel. So we're going to jump out of here. So it either you see me on the next video tomorrow, or you'll see me on the next video Friday. Was it? No, Saturday. oh, wait a minute, if I go tomorrow, then you guys won't see me until Graphics Card Nightmares. That looks like I got to do a double video that day. Oh, wow. So, guess what? I'm still going to do Graphics Card Nightmares on Saturday. Okay? But now the video for Micro Center, I'm still going to try, if I can, to get it together and post it on the same day, on Friday. Or if I get back on time on Thursday, I'll try to post it on Thursday. So either way, we'll try to get it in there and fit it in the next couple days, those two videos. So, but anyway, until the next time and the next video, I say the next video, this is JJ on JJ's PC Builds. We will see you on the next one.